Well, let me ask you this: is it insensitive, do you think, to talk about silver linings to this crisis, or indeed any crisis, when many people are suffering as a result of it?
I think it depends to whom we're talking. Sensitivity, by definition, requires being sensitive to the person we're talking. If we're talking about somebody who's anxious over a relative whose health is seriously threatened, then I don't think it's the appropriate conversation to talk about the good things that are going to happen in the world, unless the specific individual is comforted in some way by it. That's the type of comfort that we are allowed to have, right? So I think we need to be sensitive to each situation. If we're talking to somebody who's just lost their job, or is afraid their business is about to collapse, now's probably not the time to necessarily. Some people it is helpful to talk about silver linings, but for others they just want a listening ear. They want someone they can call, someone they can talk to about it, and that's the right time. If somebody's just lost somebody, whether through corona or through any other illness, they can't sit shiver for them, they can't attend their own funeral, they want our ear at that moment. This is a time to listen and be caring and be there. But in general, for the majority of the world who are healthy and who will be coming through this, being calm and looking for the good is actually very important, not just for putting ourselves in a state of calm, but actually use this as a moment now to not just get through this, but to literally become better people, to literally, there's so many people who need us. Let's go out there and help them. There's so much opportunity for growth. Let's take it. I wouldn't even call those silver linings. Well, you can. I mean, it depends how you look at it, but they are things that are opportunities and needed. If we could do them, we'll help others be happy. So I think, and others have a better time. So I think it depends who we're talking to and in what context. There's contexts where talking about silver linings is very inappropriate, and a context where talking at all is inappropriate. Some contexts where listening is what we've got to do. Crying with somebody, being more of a proverbial shoulder when we can't be a physical one, and so on. And there's I've had phone calls with people at shivers, and it's difficult being in a shiver right now, sitting there on the ground, staring at a wall,
Absolutely,
not
I know
having been
people
able
going through
necessarily
it.
to even go to the funeral. There's a lot of things people are struggling with right now. There's health workers who could just appreciate a phone call, or reaching out to them. Are there ways we can help you? Or just, I just want you to know how much we appreciate the incredible self-sacrifice and the hard work you're doing right now. And so there's so many people that we can. So it depends on the conversation, depends on the person, depends on the situation.
Absolutely. And I guess the same question, what about humour? Is there a place for humour during crisis?
There is. And look, I think in general, I'm not so excited by things that are pumping out all over WhatsApp and all over Facebook. I'm not criticizing anyone who does them. I think a lot of people, they express anxiety in those ways. I think the problem with throwing something out to the masses, even if it's a nice warning, like or an opinion, we should be more isolating more, or humor. We do need to remember that on mass groups, there's going to be a lot of people experiencing different things. So we'll put humor out there where somebody is either is very afraid of their own health, they have a low immune system, or a relative of theirs who's now coughing, who's elderly, or a relative is asking them to come and visit, but they're not sure. And we're throwing humor might be inappropriate. Even things like pushing people to isolate more, which is good on the one hand, but in a mass audience, there might be somebody out there who's literally going through emotional trauma, and we need to just realize that in groups. I'm not sure, again, I'm not, God forbid to criticize anyone who's doing this. The problem is whenever you give a message, somebody's not going to say, oh, look at them, they're doing something wrong. We're all learning this. We're really all in it together. We have to be tolerant of each other, but I think there's a place for humor. Of course there is. The human needs humor. That's a big part of what we are. And for the right person, it's the right thing. But again, we have to just it's to whatever extent we can be sensitive to the fact that it's not for everyone in every situation.
To stay up to date with JTV content, click subscribe here if you're on YouTube and hit the alarm bell. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button, and under following, click see first. If you enjoy watching JTV content and want to help us continue to grow, please consider making a donation to us by clicking here.